Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a break for Stephen, Mr. Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. How's it going?
It's great. It's beautiful in LA. Again, another great weather day. Always.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Georgia shirt. My niece announced she's going to be a bulldog.
Oh, nice.
Back-to-back championships. Yes, so this is for her.
Yeah,
I get to buy all new clothing now.
College gear.
Yeah, get to buy
Go
all
with
new
your tough
college
stuff.
Yeah, this is cool.
That's good. Georgia, it's a big school, national champions.
Yeah.
Huge.
Back to back.
Big
all right,
feet.
cool. All right, what do we got today, Alex?
Independence. We're going to Independence all day and one Marvel. We're going to talk a little Butterfly by Boom and Archaia. We're going to talk Sex Criminals, which is hilarious that we've never talked about it before. Also, not safe for work. So if you're a child listening to this, please stop. Bitch Planet, and then Lilith Drake, our one superhero comic book today.
Got it. Okay, very, very cool, Alex. All right, so what are we going to start with?
Yeah, let's talk about Butterfly by Boom Studios.
Yeah, so this they're starting to sell for a lot of money.
Yep.
What's going on with this book?
I think it's an Amazon property. I think Amazon picked it up.
Right.
The book is old. This is an older book. This is, 2014. It's almost 10 years old now. And Boom early in that time, 2014. It's a lot of low print books. Book's interesting. It's a spy story. It's a woman spy who's a ghost, which means she has got no birth certificate. Her fingerprints aren't going to match up anywhere. And she essentially tracks down her father, who she's never known, because someone's trying to kill her. And it comes to find out that her father was also a spy. So it's just a spy thriller comic. Margaret Bennett, one of her earlier works too. I think you're looking at the world of like Amazon, and like the Jack Reacher stuff. They're trying to go down this road. Jack Reacher, and what's the other one that was a Tom Cruise, the Tom Clancy?
Oh yeah,
stuff?
John Krasinski. John
Krasinski. Yeah, those things. I think
drawing a blank.
I know, it's like it's on the tip of my tongue.
And Citadel is coming out too.
Yep. So there's a lot of that stuff kind of coming in the pipeline.
Jack Ryan.
That's it. Jack Ryan. You got it. Yeah, I knew you would figure it out. You got that brain.
Yeah. So Jack Ryan, and then Citadel, which I think premieres tomorrow. Depending
Nowish,
on
Nowish,
yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So Butterfly #1, Phil Noto cover, September 2014. Only 17 9.8s. It's a $300 book. $30 to $40 raw.
Yeah.
Arash Amel and Marguerite Bennett story, and Antonio Fuso art with a Phil Noto cover. So, and Phil Noto does all the spy stuff.
Yep.
He's made for those spy covers. Yeah.
Totally.
All right, cool. What do we got next, Alex?
Sex Criminals, long running, lots of award winning comic book series.
Also, I think got picked up by Amazon too, right?
Yep. The Fraction Kelly Sue DeConnick combo has been getting all their stuff's been getting picked up lately.
Yeah. So talk little bit about this storyline. What is this one about?
So Sex Criminals, Not Safe for Work, NSFW. It's about two people who realize after they hook up one night that after they have sex that they can stop time. And so it essentially works in the way of they realize they can stop time, so they decide to rob a bank, and they decide to go down this history, and it comes to find out that they're not the only ones that have these kind of sexual powers, and it's a really fun book, and it actually has a lot of heart. I think this is the first thing that you really knew Chip Zdarsky from. Like this was his like. This is like, oh, Chip Zdarsky is a player in the game, and this was a big book. But yeah, I'm surprised it took this long to do it. I mean, this is an HBO Max, it says Amazon, but this is a adult TV show. Oh. Yeah. This is a show that like is made for the adult audience for sure.
Got it. Okay, so Sex Criminals #1, Chip Zdarsky cover, September of 2013. Also, 10 years old at this point.
Yeah.
367 9.8s. It's a $100 book in 9.8. First appearance of Susie Dixon, John Johnson, and Rochelle Jackson. The variant, variant, 13 9.8s. I haven't seen any 9.8s for sale. It's a $30 to $35 raw book. The Chip Zdarsky Forbidden Planet edition. There are 15 9.8s. Again, very low pop, $25 to $35 raw. These books are tough to find.
Yeah.
The Yoku Shimizu, a ghost variant cover. There are 100 9.8s. That's a $125 book in 9.8. The second print, there's 7 9.8s. That's a $20 to $30 raw book. The third print, 2 9.8s. It's a $60 to $75 raw book.
Wow.
The fourth print came out in January of 2014. 13 9.8s. It's $18 to $20 raw. So the third print is the rarest one of all, by the way.
Yeah.
When you get the Image Expo variant, 55 9.8s. That's about 110 and 9.8,
Wow.
$20 to $25 raw. So the third print one is the very, very difficult one to find.
Yeah.
The fifth print came out in February of 14. 6 9.8s. It's a $12 to $15 raw book. And the sixth print came out in March of 2014. 5 9.8s, and that's a $5 to $10 raw book. So there's a lot of different iterations of this book. So when it hits the air, I think you're going to start seeing these up and away.
Yeah, totally. And this is one of those weird ones where like the second and the third prints were higher than the fifth and sixth, because at that point people were catching on. They were buying it. I think the print run for fifth and sixth print are actually higher than the second and third print, which usually it's the opposite. So
right. I guess people just figured out that one printing was much rarer than the other.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, all right. Alex's pick of the week. What do you got?
It's just a humorous aside, because I went to a Picard screening last night, and it was a free screening. You just had to sign up and go, and they had these popcorn buckets, and they were paper, and it just says Picard on them. Literally have them in my trash. And I was like, oh, you know what? Let me look them up. And of course, I go on eBay, and these paper popcorn buckets that have Star Trek characters on them are going for $15. And it's just funny how, first of all, the FOMO. If you didn't get to go and you didn't get the popcorn bucket and you're a big Star Trek fan, you want one. And then the brains of people to be like, oh, I'm going to this thing and I'm going to dump all my popcorn out, clean it up, and sell it on eBay. Like, it's just funny to me, like that there's two sets of people: the people that have it and sell it, and the people that are like, I really needed this bucket because I'm a huge Star Trek fan. It's just really funny.
Got it. That's funny. I wonder, how do you display that though?
Maybe you just put it up and like maybe you put some like flowers in it. I don't know.
Back in the day, they made these Jackson 5 cans from when Jacksons were on tour in 1984, 85, whatever it was, Victory Tour. And I bought the Pepsi cans, and I still have them, but they're like impossible to display. Just like empty Pepsi cans.
Yeah, you just put it up, put it in a case, and there it is. Yeah, what do you do?
I know, it's tough to display. Okay.
Yeah, food items.
All right. What do we got next, Alex?
Bitch Planet.
From Image, also Amazon.
Yep. Also the wife of Matt Fraction, who is the writer of the last book we talked about, Sex Criminals.
Got it. Okay, so tell me this story now.
Yeah, Sex Criminals is cool. It's kind of this alternate reality almost, where it's a prison planet where women that do not conform, that are maybe outspoken or push for more rights, or someone that goes online and complains a lot, they arrest them and they put them in this prison called Bitch Planet. One of a really interesting idea. It's a very it was very like kind of like 70s film, like the like this, what is it called, like kind of like the exploitation films from the 70s. So it's very feminist, very cool. I mean, one of the first books Valentine Delandro ever put out. Again, phenomenal, super big fan base here.
Got it. Okay, so Bitch Planet #1, December of 2014, 159.8s and 399. So it's a pretty big pop, but it's a $300 book at 9.8 now.
Yep.
So even though the pop is at 150, it's still a $300 book, Alex. It's pretty good.
It's pretty big. Yep.
There's also a ghost. Interestingly enough, there's also a ghost variant cover for Bitch Planet. 25 9.8s. It's about a $30 raw book. The Image Expo variant cover, there are 4 9.8s. It's about a $40 raw book. I saw a 9.8 up for sale at $2,000. I don't think it'll sell at $2,000, but I do think they are very, very valuable. That book is limited to 200, the Image. Did you go to the Image Expo or no?
No, that was on the West Coast. I did not travel for that. Now I regret it.
Quite frankly, if you went, you probably would.
I would have bought anything anyways. No,
you would have bought a
lanyard. Anyway. I would have got a lanyard.
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah,
you would have blown it. You would have blown it anyway. Alex.
Yeah, so doesn't matter.
I have faith that you would have blown it.
I agree.
So, Jamie McKelvey variant cover, 29.8s. It's about a $250 book in 9.8. The second print has a 0 pop, and it's a $25 raw book. So that's it. All right, what are we closing out with tonight? This is an interesting one.
Yeah, Lilith Drake. Lilith Drake.
Announced for the new Blade film.
Very interesting. Very interesting. It makes you wonder where they're going, because yeah, this is a weird character to bring in.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about Lilith. She's the daughter of Dracula?
She's the daughter of Dracula before Dracula was a vampire. And Dracula, spoiler alert, Dracula's not a great person, alive or dead. And he kind of casted her out, and she was kind of like, the term gypsy is used, but it's, we don't use that term anymore. But was given to a band of like travelers, and she grew up, and then eventually she realized her dad was Dracula. He was a vampire. He was killing people. She was turned into a vampire, but with none of the very minimal effects of regular vampires. So like the, garlic and sunlight and crosses. And she fought Dracula for a little while. So it's an interesting step. She's been in the comics for a bit, but if they're casting this character, then we're definitely going to see Dracula and Blade. Like, why wouldn't we? It'd be very weird for them to just be like, oh, here's Dracula's daughter, but no Dracula. So
got it.
Interesting.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So giant size chillers #1. Can't imagine there's too many of those hanging around.
No.
June of 74. So it's a 40-year-old, 47, 48-year-old book at this point. Jesus. 27 9.8s. Well, that's a lot for a 74 book. 91 9.6s, 104 9.4. So you can get these in decent high grade. In March of 2022, so about a year ago, a 9.8 sold for $28.80. So wow. I'm not sure where they would be today, but recently a 9.2 sold for $4.50. So you can find a nice, clean,
you can get a
high grade
9.2 is not bad for 70s book, Bronze Age.
Yeah. Origin and first appearance of Lilith, the daughter of Dracula, becomes giant-sized Dracula after this one issue of giant-sized chillers. Marv Wolfman's story. Wow, Gene Colan and Frank Chiaramonte art with a John Romita cover. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, a lot of big people in that book.
Little footnote there. Interesting footnote now. Okay, well, we thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the field below. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Same bat time.
Same bat channel.